We would like to welcome you to Jobs Expo this morning. Thank you for coming along to see us here at the Galway Hotel. And our first seminar of the day, presented by Liam Horan from Slí Nua Careers, entitled 15 Steps to Building a Winning CV. Sounds like a very interesting talk, so I'd like you to give a warm welcome now to Liam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. You're all very welcome along. We're going to go through 15 steps to building a winning CV, as Kevin said. And the first thing I would say is that not everything I say will be relevant to everybody. We're doing a generic talk, so you got to pick from it what you think exactly suits you. So things will vary depending on the kind of job you're going for, the kind of company you're applying to, etc. But there are general points and some specific points that I hope you find useful. So take from this what you can, okay? First thing we would say to people is understand that it's a sales document. This is an important point to set with people very early on in their CV writing, because people tend to look at their CV as a collection of information arranged in a very mundane or safe kind of way. But in fact it's a sales document and you're the product. So the document must be selling you. And we don't sell in a boring way, we try to sell in an engaging way. So you got to prepare yourself to be a bit more, and I'm going to use the word creative. I don't mean that in making things up, but I mean it in terms of just selling it a bit better, or writing it a bit better, or presenting it a bit better, deciding to arrange information maybe differently to how you've arranged it previously, okay? So it's not the time to be bashful or shy. Most people we deal with in our business are quite understated, quite find it hard to say, I am very good at this, I won the award for that. But in a CV, just as in a LinkedIn profile or in a job interview, you've got to resolve to talk yourself up, okay? Nobody else is going to do it for you. The next candidate in the door or the next CV on the HR person's desk is not going to refer to you. So you've got to do that yourself, okay? So the first few slides are about getting your mindset right before you sit down to write your CV, okay? And this is part of that as well. It's not just a dry academic list of stuff. You're not applying for your passport renewal or a new driving license, okay? This is a lively, organic document about you. You're a real person with skills, with ambitions, with aspirations, with a career history. So it's got to be livelier. And nowadays we live in a world of lower attention spans. So you got to, do more to catch attention, okay, as we move with the times. Second point there is important. Blanks are not great on a CV. Blanks create question marks. They create surprise. People are not exactly sure what they mean. So try to cover off all the blanks. And one line can cover off 5 years if it's not particularly relevant. But if you leave the blank there, there can be question marks afterwards, okay? But once you've closed off the blanks, you can decide what you wish to highlight. What do you feel the employer needs to know? That's your decision. You can decide that. Actually, in some way, I'm sure we can arrange for all the slides to be given to you afterwards as well. If you want to email, we're handing out a flyer. If you want to email that saying slide from today, we'll send it on to you, or maybe Kevin might give us the addresses. So you can ask yourself questions as you go along. If I include this, is this helping me, or is it doing really nothing for me? And as long as you're closing off blanks, that's a good guiding principle. So if you were to ask me a question now about your CV, my answer might well be a question back to you saying, well, just putting that in help you? Does saying you won Salesperson of the Year help you? Generally does, so you include it, okay? So that's your guiding principle. There isn't some set of rules drawn up by the Association of Recruiters Worldwide, some minimum standard you've got to reach. This is your sales document, and you sell as you wish to sell, okay? And that's an ownership kind of thing you've got, okay? And you ask questions like that of yourself. So once you start asking these questions, you'll start looking at your CV afresh, okay? Crucial thing before we haven't written a word yet in our CV, put yourself in the employer's shoes, okay? So we take a situation like today where we've got multiple employers here, and you've got maybe one copy of your CV with you. That can be difficult to get every head nodding in all the employers you wish to talk to. Because while your CV might be seen by 100 people, it's only seen by one person at any one time. And that's the person you need to be thinking about. What is that employer looking for? So if that employer is looking for Spanish language, you highlight the Spanish language part you have. If that employer is looking for people management experience, you highlight that part. So you got to think about the employer, okay? And rather than sending out your CV 30 or 40 times a week in a mass broadcast, think more about if I send it out well 5 times. And I'm going to talk you through how well it looks, okay? But don't just think about having one CV that you blast out there and hope that, like throwing stuff at a wall, something will stick. You be more strategic in how you evaluate what the employer is actually looking for and try and meet that, okay? So, what are they looking for? You know, what will a successful candidate look like? What skills will they have? What will their CV be highlighted? What will be highlighted in their CV, okay? And we find that information in the advertisement, in the job spec, on the company website, on press releases that are circulated, from people who previously worked there, people who currently work there, people who've worked in similar companies. That's the kind of research you actually need to be doing to understand what or to meet the employer's needs, okay? And in my experience, a lot of candidates don't do that. They kind of have this, well, this is my career and that's it, sort of take it or leave it attitude. Not with that level of arrogance, but that seems to be the general kind of approach. This is what I have, take it or leave it. Whereas it must be much more of a surgical strike on what the employer is actually looking for. So I met a recruiter coming in today here on the way up from the car park, and in the 5 minutes I chatted to him, I know what he's looking for today. Now I'm not a candidate today, but candidates should know that as well. Okay, so stop looking just into yourself and look at the employer, the recruiter, what they're looking for. And in a sales transaction, we try to meet the buyer's needs. Okay? What are they looking for? Why they're looking for it? All that kind of thing. Okay? And that's what your CV needs to do, just as your interview must do the same as well. So we start with the employer's needs. We identify them, and then we work into our CV. Only then, I would say. Okay? Got to make decisions. It's not War and Peace. It's not a never-ending novel. It's a page. It's 2 pages. Your job is to curate from your career to date and present to the employer what they need to know. Do not make the employer fish down to the bottom of page 5 for a whole lot of irrelevant or overly technical terms to find what they need to know. I know what you need to know. Here it is early in my CV. That's a decision you've got to make. And what this suggests as well, of course, is that you will have a number of CV edits, a number of iterations of your CV, depending on the types of jobs you're going for, even within one sector, not to mind the fact that many of us have more than one sector going on as well. That's quite common as well. So CV must be a surgical strike, as I said, for the employer, okay? Be decisive. Don't think by putting it all in, the employer is going to be so fascinated by all you have done. They're more likely to get turned off, and there's a law of diminishing returns. Beyond a certain point, the more you tell them, the less they hear, okay? Aim for early impact. And if you've got your CV there in front of you, and you want to do the following test, what I call the half-page test, fold your CV in half on the home page, on the first page, and just read that, okay? And if when you do that, you see you have 7 lines given over to your address and phone number and things like that, that's not early impact. And the reason I say that is, in a world, as I said earlier, of dwindling attention spans, employers are spending less and less time scanning CVs. There are studies to show, but there are studies to show everything, obviously. There are studies that show employers sometimes spend as little as 7 seconds on a CV, okay? So if you're not giving them the early impact and inviting them to go further, chances are you won't catch their attention. I've done some CV clinics this morning here already, and a common thing we notice all the time with CVs is the good stuff is on the bottom of page 2. What happens if the employer doesn't get to the bottom of page 2? Okay? In school, we did our school essays beginning, middle and end, with the climax in the end where we shot the parish priest in the very end of the essay. In this kind of thing, we must put the good stuff early. We go for early impact, okay? Get it in early. If anybody studied journalism, they know about the inverted pyramid, which is the 5 W's: who, what, where, why, when, all go early in the story, okay? The CV is very similar. It's a sales communication tool, okay? They may not go beyond the first few lines. or are you turning them off? Did anybody do the half-page test there? I saw some people doing it here, smiling as you did it perhaps. Think about early impact, and I'm going to show you how you can achieve early impact, okay? So the first details must be there. A CV without your name isn't very effective, but your name does not sell you, okay? Your address does not sell you, your phone number does not sell you. So you put it in there, but you type it up onto 2 lines, okay? Because it doesn't deserve 7 lines. You're wasting good real estate on your CV by giving 7 lines over, okay? It's not a sales feature. Coca-Cola don't sell Coca-Cola on the basis of where it was bottled, okay? So get your first details down and then go to personal profile or some introductory kind of paragraph. Now this is where things get different for different people. We are now entering the world probably of cliché to a certain extent, and this is very generic, so do this your way, make this work for you, okay? And unfortunately, some of what you'll do with your CV will have a certain amount of cliché, okay? So for example, you call yourself motivated, well you would, wouldn't you? But you gotta say some way, introduce yourself in some way. But if the personal profile suggests certain characteristics, achievements and skills that the later part of your CV substantiates, the profile has done a good job. If it gets them onto the next stage, and then they see more and more and more and more. So it should be like a slowly dawning sort of realization for them that, yeah, first paragraph, interestingly, that's the skills I'm looking for, that's the experience I'm looking for, and then there's the proof, there's the evidence, etc. I'm going to lead you through these as well. So you got to apply your personal profile to the actual job you're applying for. So if Spanish is the thing, you got to get Spanish in there. If people management is the thing, you got to get people management in there, okay? Again, you're acting as a curator of your own career to create a CV that does all of that, okay? So they change from time to time. Think about the employer, what are they looking for, okay? And this is cliche alert, as I said, but let's just think about this. This was written for an employer who was setting up a new sales territory. I was looking for a salesperson, okay? So that's why this part is in here, like working experience of introducing company to new region. That's a surgical strike on this company because they're introducing a company to a new region. If they weren't doing that, you might not put that there. So it's about creating the parallels between your experience to date and what they're looking for. And as you can see, that's only 3 or 4 lines from your career, but you need to use it wisely so that the employer is interested in it, okay? Repeat sales, again, that's something that the employer is looking for. Create relationships long-term to create repeat sales. So it's not sort of, big hit, early type sales and forget about it afterwards. It's long-term relationship building type sales, that's there to meet, okay? So your CV needs to have a profile or an introduction like that the employer's head will be nodding upon reading it, saying, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So it's not what you are, it's what they're looking for. You need to be guided by, okay? Next, again, it's like an aggregation section. Key elements from your career to date. Again, you are picking the stuff that relates to what the employer is looking for. So, for example, you're a school teacher, you're going for a job in a school, your research has told you that the person retiring or going on maternity leave was the sports coach. It may not be in the job spec, but they were the person who trained all the football teams, okay? You know this through your research, and research about the job is crucial even before you write your CV. So therefore you put in your record of sports coaching, your own sports career, etc. So you're meeting something that's not even in the job spec, but you know it's in their minds, okay? And I often do with clients when I prepare CV writing, I get them to say, okay, what are the 5 key things in the job spec? Or what are the 3 key things not in the job spec? What do you know that's not in the job spec, okay? And you'd be amazed what can come up, okay? And in this section, you should try to match that, okay? You should be presenting information that the employer is nodding their head as they read it, okay? That's how close the match should be. And that can be very, very subtle. They might not even realize you've done that, okay? But if your research is proper, you can be doing that early on. And that's kind of a guiding principle all the way through the CV as well, okay? And you're introducing stuff here that can appear later. It's just like an overview, and later on in your job details, you can be giving more of that detail later on as well, okay? So we've given an overview, we've given a bit more detail. The employer is still alive, they're still reading your CV. Congratulations, that's an achievement, okay? So that's what you're trying to do, keep them going, okay? Next is something, again, not for everybody. I have seen it work very, very well. It's not for everybody, but it can work. It's the effect of a third-party endorsement of you, where you take something from a written reference you have got. So it's, I've told you how great I am, let's have somebody else tell you how great I am now, okay? Again, not for everybody. For example, in the West of Ireland, we have a mix of company types. We have large multinationals. We've also got a lot of SMEs at local level. And for SMEs, that can be very strong because they may well know the person you're quoting or know the company you're quoting. Multinationals, probably not as interested in that. Again, make your own decision on that, okay? I've seen teachers, for example, use quotes here from assessments they have done, various courses, as well as references from previous principals, etc. You can use 2 of those on your CV as well. Again, it can be useful. I've seen it work very well, and other times I'd say, no, not for that environment. So make your own call on that, okay? It can be very powerful, okay? So next we get to, so we've now done the profile or introduction, we've done our key achievements, we've done referee description, and next we decide where we're going next. Is it work experience or is it education? And there's no simple answer to that question. The answer is which section, which one, work experience or education, relates more to the job you're going for. So if you're working 10 years ago in a particular sector, and you've gone back and studied since in a different sector, and that's the job you're trying to get into, education comes first, okay? If the stuff that matches the employer's needs is in work experience comes first. Again, decisions you've got to make, okay? And the employer won't give out to you for doing it this way, but you're saying, I want to keep that employer's head nodding as they go through this CV, okay? So, again, close all the gaps we said at the start, but after that, it must sell you. And what sells you? What sells you is what the employer is trying to buy. So become your own curator again, as I said, and find the relevant experience. So sometimes people come to CV writing, and when they do their job description of their last job, they believe they should put an exhaustive list of 15 things they did. I would argue differently, put in 5 relevant things you did. Relevant achievements. I think achievements rather than just doing. Relevant to the employer. So going back to what we did a few months ago, if opening sales, a new sales territory is relevant to this employer, that becomes big in your job description or your bullet points underneath your job, okay? Always thinking about what matters to this employer, okay? And as I said, that will change from employer to employer. It will change down this corridor here today, and that makes today a little bit difficult for you, but it's a good mindset to try and achieve, okay? So highlight and bring to the top of the CV. A trick for people who may have changed sectors, and there's been a lot of that in Ireland in the last 10 years, is to create a section called Relevant Work Experience. If you want to go back 6 years to get the most relevant thing, so Relevant Work Experience will bring that to the top. You give more detail under that, and then you create a second section just that goes off the gap called Other Work Experience, and that's just a line per job, okay? So again, you're thinking, what's relevant to the employer, bring that up as high as you can, give them detail on that, and then give them less on the other ones, okay? So you don't have to slavishly, in reverse chronology, follow back through your career. You can do it this way and get the relevant stuff up, okay? So relevance, again, always determined by the employer. The employer is what they're looking for is what's relevant, okay? And then education qualifications, which may be first sometimes and maybe second sometimes in this order. And again, exactly the same. Close the gaps, highlight what would engage the employer, create relevant or other work education if you want. So I looked at somebody's CV earlier on, they had a background in hospitality and childcare, and they've a current career in accounting. So if they're going for accounting roles, they need to do things to get the accounting stuff up earlier in the CV and give more prominence by naming modules, 5-year projects, theses, etc. Okay? You're always thinking relevance of what you're going to next, okay? And sometimes when you leave college, that's the best you have. Your CV can only be the best you have. Later on, those things become less relevant as you get more work experience, but if that's what you have now, use it to the best of your ability. And when you look at job specs, you'll be surprised sometimes at what is relevant. You may have done a project in college that exactly matches what this employer is looking for, and putting that in your CV might put you ahead of your colleagues in college who are looking for the same types of jobs, okay? So when you look at the job spec and talk to the people who know the employer well, you'll find stuff. That happens quite often when I work with clients, that they say, oh God, I'd forgotten about that. I'll just remember this, I'll just brought that up, okay? So you're looking at it in a slightly different way. This is another one, not for everybody. There is a kind of a thing that multinationals are not interested in this. First of all, there's no rule. Quite a few multinationals are not that interested in this, but I did attend a talk about 4 years ago by the HR manager or a senior HR person in Banana Beverages who bottled Coca-Cola actually, and she says one of the first things she looks at in the CV is what people do in their spare time. So horses for courses, not for everybody, and be careful of people who tell you absolutely you must do this in your CV. You've got to make those decisions based on what you can figure out from the employer. But you can learn a lot about, so say go back to that teacher earlier on, reinforcing their sports career or their musical background, if it's the prior teacher who has resigned or retired, that can just get the head nodding again. So you're fleshing out the profile as per the employer's needs, okay? Think selling, not listing. Don't just list all you do. So if you're somebody who's working in, trying to get a job in accounting and bookkeeping, and you find you're the treasurer of the local committee, and you're treasurer of the committee that built the local community centre, that's relevant. That's handling money, that's being the finance person in a project. It's not as big as doing a multi-million euro project at work, but it's not bad, okay? So it's just step by step, tick by tick, trying to get through the whole thing, okay? Referees available on request as appropriate in many cases. Again, multinationals in particular will have ways of finding out about you, no matter what referees you give them, okay? My personal view is they're not a burden to carry on your CV. They will be the bottom of page 2 anyway. They're not a burden to carry. I have a slight bias in favour of including them, mainly because, as I said earlier, in the west of Ireland we have a strong SME world going on, and there's an anecdotal kind of fraternal world there that might stand to you, and an employer might appreciate the fact that it is easy to ring somebody. I do believe that the spirit of the referee is very important, in that jobs are filled a lot by word of mouth and by a word of the ear of the right person who gets the phone call or whatever. Don't underestimate that, okay? That's not just Irish. If anybody's interested in career development as a whole, check out the book What Colour Is Your Parachute by Richard Bowles. It's an American annual, more or less, and he always talks about the hidden jobs market, word of mouth, etc. And so that feeds into that a bit, okay? If you're putting them in, contact names, details, why they're there. My former manager, my line manager there, my superior there, my colleague there, whatever they're there for. And if you're putting them in, give phone numbers, etc. Having got permission, of course. And crucially, tell them they may get a call, and tell them what kind of job you're going for now. So if you're one of those people, and quite a few people are in this boat, who's got 2 or 3 different sectors, make sure when they get the phone call, they talk about the childcare, not about the accounting, kind of. So say I'm going for childcare type jobs now, so you might be getting calls on that line. Just prepare them, and make sure the person you pick is somebody who will be talkative on the phone. The boss may not be the most talkative, may not be easily available, so you're perfectly entitled to pick a deputy boss, a line manager. These are your decisions. You can pick who you want, really. But make sure the person you pick won't be gruff on the phone, will give detail, will be trying to help you as best they can. And that's hugely important. Not in every sector, because in some sectors you won't know who they're talking to. But in lots of sectors that's really important, okay? So check that as well. If you're in change, I'm just going to go through these very quickly. If you're in change, you haven't worked outside the home for 10 years, whatever, you've got to look for transferable skills. What have you learned? What have you shown there? There are cliches here, obviously, like budget management, time management. It may help you get one step further up the ladder in your CV. Okay? Don't just write off periods of your life as saying there's nothing of value there. There are frequently things of value. So for example, if you were working in construction, and that is a lot of people have come out of construction and are still coming out of construction, and quite a few going back into construction thankfully as well. But if you were running a construction business and you think you were just running a plastering business, you may be recruiting people, training people, pricing, ensuring quality, customer service. So a lot of those skills transfer, but it's your job to find those and write them on your CV. Don't expect the employer who reads your CV to be your talent spotter. You've got to spot your own talent and serve it up to them in the sections I've talked about there. And that's it. A few quick questions. LinkedIn profile, yes, if you have it, use it. Surprisingly, the LinkedIn profile has not taken out the CV yet. I would have thought 6 or 7 years ago the death of the CV was imminent. It hasn't happened yet. It's still going strong. It probably shouldn't be. But if you have a LinkedIn profile, and lots of jobs now are allowing you to apply to LinkedIn profile as well. You'll keep it up there, but still lots of CV activity going on there as well. Okay, keep it up to date, blogging, sharing articles, showing interest in your sector, etc. Okay, that's it. If anybody else has any questions, or if you want to email the address at the bottom of the flyer and just put in slideshow, I'll send you the slideshow as well. But I'll be knocking around for the next while, so it's okay. Anybody want to ask any questions at the body of the floor, first one? No? Okay, well, I'll be hanging here if anybody else is talking to you. Okay, thank you very much.